Hello, Gardener's World. My wife and I watch Gardener's World most weeks, and although we're not particularly keen gardeners, this year we thought we'd have a go. So, after watching all of the programs, we really put everything we had this year into growing vegetables. And I appreciate that this year has not been a particularly good year, but I have to say that our efforts can only be described as a complete disaster. And I thought I'd share them with you. I know that most weeks people show their videos of their tremendous successes, but in our case, I can only describe it as a complete disaster. Let me show you what I mean. We have a fairly we have a fairly nice greenhouse on the back of our garage, and so we decided that we'd put all of the various crops for a greenhouse in and just basically see how it went. We spent a fortune on seedlings and compost and grow bags, and we thought we'd done everything correctly. But as you can see, first of all, the cucumbers just aren't doing anything. Normally we get a good crop of cucumbers, but this year, as you can see, it's all rather pathetic. The same applies to the aubergines. They have been in this sorry state now for a couple of months. Haven't grown, haven't done anything, and as you can see, all of the tomatoes that we put in have all got blight. So I'm afraid these are all going to have to come out and be burnt. And they were doing quite well, and as you can see, they are now completely dead. We also have a reasonable fruit cage, and we have Morello cherries and ordinary cherries, but again this year, complete disaster. We didn't get one single cherry, and it looks like they've got some sort of fungus or something on them as well now. We also made some raised beds, and in there we planted courgettes and celery. Well, the celery seems to have done something, but it's only producing very thin stalks. And as for the courgettes, well, that's another disaster, because when we've had courgettes form, they end up like this, where we only get half a courgette and some sort of dead thing on the end. And after 3 months, this courgette is so far the only one that's grown. We do have a pumpkin, but that seems to be constantly attacked by slugs. But I have noticed the other day that there is a small pumpkin developing, but seeing as we're now in the middle of August, I'll be very surprised if that comes to anything. We also put some raised beds here at the back of the tunnel, and these are our strawberries, and this year they produced one edible strawberry. Beneath it, it's even worse. These are our carrots. They again have been in here now for a couple of months, and they're completely destroyed by, I suspect, slugs. This is the sum crop of our peas. Again, they were put in raised beds, and as far as I can see, we've done everything we should have done. But again, after 2 months, these are the only peas that we've got. We planted broccoli as well. Here's the broccoli, and as you can see, every day it's chomped by slugs and snails, and that's all we get. Here are our beans, our runner beans. Here are our runner beans. And again, although we've got a few mingy flowers, we haven't got any beans. I must admit that I've lost all enthusiasm for growing vegetables, and I doubt very much if I'm going to be bothered next year, because it just seems to be a completely futile exercise. And to make matters worse, a few years ago I planted a small orchard at the bottom of our garden, and normally we get a reasonable crop of apples, but this year, as you can see, out of all of these trees, there isn't a single apple anywhere to be seen. Yeah. Not a single apple anywhere. I'll give you extra footage for editing purposes. The only thing that's done well this year are the sweet peas. We've had a wonderful crop of sweet peas, and these particular ones have a most beautiful perfume. Well, thank you for your time, and thank you for showing you my. Thank you for your time, and thank you for showing my embarrassing video. Thank you.